You see, that was back in 2005, 2006, when we were in what they call the Great Recession, when the housing market had turned. Many people were losing their jobs, losing their homes. I felt the repercussions of that, and so did my son. But you see, there was a still small voice in the back of my head at that pivotal point, because at that point, there was fear, there was anxiety. I could feel myself almost falling into an abyss of nothing but worry. But there was this little small voice, I call it the Holy Spirit. And it said, go to school. You see, before, my family and friends had always said, hey, go back to school, but I was making money. And I thought to myself, why would I want to go back to school? I'm making money. I got this. I got a house. Why would I want? And it was like God had just pulled the rug from under me. Whoop, and bam, I was on my back looking up. I went back to school at 39 years old, right here at Modesto Junior College. It was rough. It was tough. It was intimidating coming back to school from being out of school for so long. But you see, when you're hungry, when that fear is on you, when you know you only got a month or so before the doors close, I said, I have to go to school. I will stay on my hustle. And this time I will not give up, because all of my life, I never followed through with anything. I would always give up when stuff got tough. But this time, I got a seed to raise, so therefore I need to stay on my hustle. I got back into school, right? Worked hard, even though there was times when my son, because I'm a single dad, I picked my son up from school, take him to basketball practice, football practice. I never missed a football game. I never missed a practice. While he was practicing, I had my head in the books. When we went home, when I was cooking dinner, I had the book on the side. I'm writing my assignment as I cook. When I'm sitting down reading him a bedtime story, I might read him a story out of my history book. Put him right to sleep. I would not stop, because my mind was consumed with making sure that I stayed in school. But then what happened? We lost the job. When the job was lost, things got tough because I went on unemployment. There were no jobs, not here in Modesto. And what happened is, the money that I was making, being on unemployment, you make less than half of half. You make a quarter of what you made before. So things got real tight. There came a lot of times when me and my son, we were always at Mi Pueblo. We get tortillas, cheese, beans, and we'd eat that for a long time. I mean, for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, we ate it. We ate it. It got kind of rough eating beans and cheese. And then when it was really good, we had a little extra money. We throw a little carne asada in there. And that was a good day. But you see, you got to do what you got to do to make it. My whole purpose was to stay in school. But then when the unemployment cut off, then I went on welfare. And let me tell you something. When I got on welfare, it was like I had to check my pride. Because before I used to talk smack about people on welfare. I'd be like, look at you, go get a job. You need. But when the shoe was on the other foot, it was funny. And I can remember I went to Hatch, on Hatch Road. It used to be Cost You Less. Before that, it was Food for Less. But I was in Cost You Less with my EBT card. You know, I got steak, I got roast, I got corn, I got cereal. And, we got some beans and tortillas just for kicks and giggles, Throw that in there, right? And then shame came over my mind, because I'm thinking, like, when I pull this EBT card out, people are going to look at me funny. So I got a little attitude. Really, it's fear, because, you get an attitude and you act stupid because you're scared inside really of what people are going to think of you. So I pulled my card out, and then I gave everybody the stink face. I gave them a look. Pulled my card out. I said, yeah, say something. Say something. Nobody said anything. You know why? Because everybody else was too busy pulling out their EBT cards, because it was the first of the month. Understand? I learned something. But being on welfare, it still wasn't enough money to make it. But lo and behold, I had a homeboy. Back in the days, I used to DJ South Side, West Side. I even had a nickname. It was Wolf. I had a friend, Jose Gallegos. That family is right there. They're sitting right here. Jose came up on my property. He had a clean S10. It was a midnight blue. Had the Inkies on there, and it was pounding. He comes out. He's like, hey, Wolf, ¿qué pasó? I'm like, what's up, man? We bumped. Bam. He's like, hey, Wolf, I heard that you and your son are getting ready to go homeless. And he said, not on my watch. I got you. Me and my wife, Marina, and my son, Andres, we got you. Get a little emotional. You see that man over there, and Andres, his wife? They saved me and my son's life because I'd already made up my mind that I'm going to let my son go back and live with his mom, maybe live with my mom or his grandmother, but I'm going to stay in school and stay on my hustle. If I got to sleep in my car, if I got to sleep under the 7th Street bridge, I will continue to go to school. But after the semester was over, that summer semester, I looked at my grades, all A's and 1 B. And then the light came on. I said, I'm on the grind here. I will stay on my hustle. Went to Joe's house, right? And South Side, Imperial, deep South Side. First 15 minutes there, police helicopters is flying around. Joe's like, hey, Wolf, let's go see what's up on the next block. So we go over on the next block, and we see a car that had been shot up from the roof all the way down the passenger side door, all the way to the passenger side front wheel. And it was yellow taped off. And then I started thinking, what have I got myself into? Better yet, what have I got my son into? Is this school that important? Maybe I need to go back to work 2 or 3 jobs. But once again, that voice said, no, you will stay on your hustle. But it was good in the South Side. You know, a lot of people talk about the South Side. Yeah, it got crime. Yeah, it got gangs. Yeah, it might be lacking sidewalks. But let me tell you about the South Side. There are real people that live there with real hearts that work hard, that have much passion. They are people. Living in the South Side, my son had a lot of friends. As a matter of fact, if you wanted a dog, all you had to do is get like some bologna or hot dog. Bam, go out. Man, come in, you got an instant dog. You got a pet. I can remember the times in the South Side, there was this van that used to come by in the middle of the street, and it would hit a horn, bam, everybody would come out. And it would have all this bread, this bakery bread. What's it called, man? Pan dulce. Man, the bread, it was like it had orange sugar, yellow sugar, pink sugar, brown sugar, and my son was off the chain eating it. Him and his boys running crazy. I can remember this one lady, Joe had introduced me to the lady that makes the corn. You know, that corn on the stick with that special type of mayonnaise and all those seasonings, man. And I took a bite of that. It was good. I gave some to my son. He was tearing that up. He had corn in his nose. He had corn we were corn heads. And I can remember the time there was this one dude, he was an ice cream man. You know, they have ice cream dudes in the truck, but this one guy, he was on a bike. He come through the neighborhood riding his bike, ring, 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 ring. As soon as you hear the ring, ring, man, all the kids would come out. He would go to the back, open up, the back, and he'd pull out, ice cream and popsicles. I'd give some money to my son and his friends. Hey, yo, son, get dad one of those coconut popsicles. And I get that coconut popsicle, just loving it. My son's off playing. And I looked at the ice cream man take off, and then he stopped at the corner. And then he got off his bike and he's looking around. I'm like, man, what's this dude doing? So he goes back and he opens up the ice cream thing and he reaches in, and I'll just hear this so we can keep it G. Pulled out a blue tall can, took a swig, put it back in, bam, got back on the bike. Ring, 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 ring. South Side, boy, I loved it. But all good things come to an end because, we had to leave, but it wasn't anything of falling out or problems. But I know that Joe's niece was coming from Colorado. So, and that was already predestined that she would come in, so we had to leave. So Marina, she had told my son and I, hey, you know what, Wolf, there's a place that you can go where you can get housing. And I remember getting that information. I drove downtown and I got something called a voucher. Now this voucher let me stay at the then Travel Lodge. I think it's called the Tiki Inn or something like that now, but at one time it was called the Travel Lodge, and it was on McHenry. And I can remember driving down with this voucher in my hand, and all of a sudden anxiety, pain, and just shame hit me. Because I'm a man. A man is supposed to take care of his seed, but I'm in a position where I can't take care of my son. Didn't make me feel too good as a man. But as I got close to the Travel Lodge and I had pulled into the parking lot, I was going to try to explain to my son, like, son, we are now homeless. But before I could get the word out of my mouth, my son was like, Dad, we got a swimming pool. Can I go swimming? And I'm thinking like, man, does he not know what's going on? No, I'm not worried. Pull into the parking lot, give my voucher to the clerk. Clerk gives me the keys, go upstairs, open the door. My son bumps past me. He goes in the room. He's funny. He goes in the room. He got his hands on his hips. He's like, mm-hmm. So he goes over here and he looks at the TV. He's like, mm-hmm. And then he goes over here to the beds. He's like, mm-hmm. And then he turns around and he goes, Dad, we got HBO and Showtime. And we got beds with maids. We're rich. My son almost got slapped. Because I was at wit's end. I'm trying to figure this thing out. How am I going to make it? But you see, it was in that pivotal moment, that aha moment, that a 40-year-old man learned a life lesson from a babe. You see, my son, he wasn't worried about what we went through in the past. He wasn't concerned of what could go wrong in the future. He was happy and thankful for what he had in the now. You see, what I learned from my son that day is your situation may not change. Your problems may not go away right away, but it's your thinking. It is your mindset in these difficult situations. When hard times hit, you can have the mind of, I give up. You can play the victim, or you can stand and get gritty and say, I am the victor. You see, you remember this old beat up dictionary that I was talking about? The one that the cover's faded and the gold words are chipped off and the spine of the book is no good. But let me tell you something about this dictionary. Anytime that I want to know the definition or definitions of a word, I can find in this dictionary. It's phonetic spelling for pronunciation purposes. Whether it's archaic, Germanic, Old English, anything that I need to know about a word, I can find in this dictionary. Do you know why? Because this dictionary has worth. This dictionary has a purpose. Each and every one of you has a purpose here. You have to ask yourself, what is your purpose? You see, no matter what you go through, you got to keep it moving. You got to keep it moving and never stop, no matter what you go through. Those times that I went through in the past, I was ashamed to talk about it because to me, living with racism, living in the hood, I thought those were stumbling blocks, but actually when I look at, those are stepping stones. Stepping stones that help me step up to where I'm at right now. You see, this old beat up dictionary, this dictionary helped me to get my associate's degree here at Modesto Junior College. This old dictionary also inspired me to continue my education and go get my bachelor's degree in organizational leadership. And after that, I went and got my master's degree in organizational leadership with a minor with nonprofit organizations. And I'm looking in the face eventually to conquer the last monster, which is my doctorate, to be Dr. Griffin. There's something that you need to know. If you're taking notes, you need to listen to this because I'm going to give you some game. You ready for this? 1, never give up. No matter how hard it is, no matter how tough it is, never give up. You see, the problem with a lot of people is that when things get tough and things get hard, we want to quit because it's uncomfortable. But if you hang in there just a little bit longer and you stay just on the other end, it's success. Number 2, hang around people that are doing something. Fellas, if you hanging around people that are, drinking alcohol and partying, that ain't it. Hey, ladies, hanging around the girls that, they want to look good and all of that type of stuff. I will tell you this. Hang around people that are doing something. Look at all of you college students. Look at all you people here today. Look around you. Get involved, right? Hang around people that are doing something, that are trying to get somewhere. Hang around people that will hold you accountable. Hang around people that will tell you, hey, you know what? John, you ain't pulling your weight. Where I work at, I got people to hold me accountable. Mitch, the man that's running all the sounds. When I'm out of control, he lets me know, bring it down. Alejandro Espinosa always let me know, hey, John, you got to keep it down. Of course, Mr. Marks, Brian Justin Marks, he pulls me into the office. We have one-on-one so that we can continue to help me to grow. people around you that are doing something. Number 4, get involved. If you're a student here, get involved in a club, Associated Students of Modesto Junior College, because you're going to learn, number 1, you're going to learn what it is to work in a team. You'll learn that being a leader in a team situation, it's not about me, it's about we. Get involved in clubs because you'll learn conflict management. And for you people in the neighborhood, I will tell you this. Modesto has its problem. Modesto has a drug problem. Modesto has a whole this problem and that problem and this problem. Instead of running your mouth, how about you get involved? How about you get involved in such organizations as Project Uplift that's out there working with young men and young women, giving them life skills? Get involved in the NAACP. Get involved with Big Valley Men's Growth Group. Get involved and do something. This is what I'm going to tell you, and this is the last, or coming to the last. Look, when you move up the step to the ladder and you move up to a higher level, make sure that you bring that next person up and let them know to tell the next person. And as you move up the ladder, make sure you bring up that next person. You see, when you bring up people with you as you're climbing the ladder, that is what community is all about. That's what keeps a strong community, when everyone is helping one another. And last but not least, don't waste time. Because in essence, when you waste time, time is wasting you. The young grow old, the old grow old, and then the old die. The question is what are you going to do between birth and death? In closing, I'll show you one thing. Hopefully everybody can see this. You see, my life started off with riches, right? But then it devolved to rags. But from that point on, it's been a steady climb. And that steady climb has taken me to enlightenment. Riches to rags to enlightenment. Now, I know I'm not a great artist, but what you get is victory. Thank you, folks. That's all I have. Wow.